realizations. So devotees, let's continue with our Sunday feast. The next part of the program is the Bhagavad Gita class. Today's class will be given by His Grace Kamalanayana Prabhu, who just conducted this program. We all know Prabhu very well, but for our purification, Prabhu is very well known in our congregation. He's very humble, very kind-hearted, and he inspires so many devotees to take up Krishna consciousness and chanting. Prabhu does various services, right from cleaning services to parking, to guest service, to Gita Shraya program, coordinating that. Prabhu gives classes, Sunday feast class. So we are very inspired by all the services Prabhu does and supporting Sarveshwari Mataji also in her services. With that, let's welcome Kamalanayana Prabhu by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra one time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Prabhu, over to you. Devotees, please come forward, because as devotees come, they'll sit behind.
Hare Krishna devotees. Thank you all joining this Sunday morning, Sunday feast program. Very nice to see you all here. We will start the class. I'll start with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Hare Krishna everyone. I would like to thank Satyasara Prabhuji, Jai Subhadra Mataji for giving me this opportunity. I'm really not qualified to talk about any Bhagavad Gita verses or anything, but I am doing this just to purify my own, impurity, and also, I'm just, taking the instruction from my Guru, Siksha Guru, so I'm doing this. Today we are going to see the verse 15, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 10. We are going to see that. First, we will start with Jai Radha Madhava, Sarveshwari.
Jai Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari.
Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvaradari.
Jaya Radha Jaya
Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Jana
Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana
Yashoda Nana Brajajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana
Yamati Nachari
Yamunadira Vanachari
Jaya
Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare
Jaya Hare Shri Radhe
Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe. Once again, thank you, devotees. We will see could you please open up this Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 10. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 10. Everyone is ready? I'll recite the sloka first. Then, anyone wants to recite, they can do that. Utkramantam sthitam vapi
Ukramandam Stitam Vapi
Punjanam va gunanvitam
Janam Vagunaguna
Vimuda nanu pashyanti
Vimudananu
Pashyanti jnana sakshushaha
Pashyanti Nanu Shakshushaha
Ukramantam siddham vapi
Ukramantam Stitam Vapi
Punjanam va gunanvitam
Janan Vagunatukam
Vimuda nanu pashyanti
Vimudananu
Pashyanti jnana sakshushaha.
Pashyanti Nanu Shakshushaha.
The translation of this verse. Okay, if anyone wants to recite this, they can. You want to? Go ahead. No, this is sloka itself. Kramantam sitam vapi Punjanam vagunanvitam Vimudanam pashyanti Pashyanti saksusaha Pranandam siddham vapi Punjanam vagunanvitam Vimudanam pashyanti Pashyanti jnana saksusaha Ugramantam siddham vapi Punjanam vagunanvitam Vimudanam pashyanti Pashyanti jnana saksusaha Ugramantam siddham vapi Punjanam vagunanvitam Vimudananu Pashyanti. Pashyanti Jnana Chakshusha. The translation. The foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit his body, nor can they understand what sort of body he enjoys under the spell of the modes of nature. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all this. The purport is also very sweet purport. Do you want to read the purport?
The word Jnana Chakshusha is very significant. Without knowledge, one cannot understand how a living entity leaves his present body, nor what form of body he is going to take in the next life, nor even why he is living in a particular type of body. This requires a great amount of knowledge understood from the Bhagavad Gita and similar literatures heard from a bona fide spiritual master. One who is trained to perceive all these things is fortunate. Every living entity is quitting his body under certain circumstances. He is living under certain circumstances, and he is enjoying under certain circumstances, under the spell of material nature. As a result, he is suffering different kinds of happiness and distress under the illusion of sense enjoyment. Persons who are everlastingly fooled by lust and desire lose all power to understand their change of body and their stay in a particular body. They cannot comprehend it. Those who have developed spiritual knowledge, however, concede that the spirit is different from the body and is changing its body and enjoying it in different ways. A person in such knowledge can understand how the conditioned living entity is suffering in this material existence. Therefore, those who are highly developed in the Krishna consciousness try their best to give this knowledge to the people in general. For their conditional life is very much troublesome. They should come out of it and be Krishna conscious and liberate themselves to transfer to the spiritual world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Madhava, for reading that. I'll pray offer to my Guru. Om Akyana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Satsurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. So you all please have that verse open. Once again, I read the translation. The foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit his body, nor can they understand what sort of body he enjoys under the spells of three modes of material nature. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all this. So what this particular verse says, Ukra mandam stidam vapi punyanam va gunanvitam vimudananu pashyanti jnana saksusaka. So if you take the third line of this verse, vimudananu pashyanti, that means, the foolish persons can never see. That particular line, vimudananu pashyanti, foolish persons can never see. What are the things foolish persons can never see? He cannot see that, ukra mandam, the first line, first word, ukra mandam. That means quitting the body, how the living entity is quitting the body at the time of death, where that, the soul is going. What happens to them at the time of death? So the foolish person cannot see that. And then the second thing, the foolish person also cannot see that how he is enjoying under the three modes of material nature. So those are the two things, the foolish persons cannot see. But the fourth line says, Pashyanti jnana saksusaga, the intelligent person. Pashyanti means intelligent person. Non-pashyanti means foolish person. The intelligent persons, he can see everything. What he can see, he knows where our soul is going after the death. How the living entity is, how a living entity can quit his body. That's what the translation. How a living entity can quit his body, not, they can understand what sort of body he enjoys under the modes of material nature. So the intelligent people can see two things. They can really see that, seeing means, they can understand after the death where we are going. And also they can understand why we got this body and what sort of enjoyment, under the modes of nature. Either we are enjoying in the mode of passion or mode of goodness or mode of ignorance. In which mode, we are enjoying in this material world. These are the two things, intelligent person can really see that. But foolish person cannot see that. At the end of the class, we will come to know whether we belong to foolish group or the intelligent group. That's what the today's class is about. Okay? Whether we are going to have, being in the intelligent group, first three, foolish group, first three lines. The first three lines are written for us, or the last line is written for us. That's what we are going to see in this today's class. So knowledge, here, it talks about knowledge. What kind of knowledge it talks about? Is it talking about the material knowledge, the medical knowledge, or scientific knowledge, or any knowledge, how to repair the car, all those things. Are they talking about that knowledge? No, it is talking about the spiritual knowledge. So you may all wonder, what is that spiritual knowledge? Even, when you go to the doctor, you are seeing the doctors are, in the society, they are in a very upper level. They know everything. They know the body in and out. And they sometimes say that, your loved one is going to pass away in 24 hours or 48 hours. So you can inform all your relatives so they can come and see the person, whoever, in a difficult stage. So they can see, they can see them, at a final visit or something. The doctors can say that. They have the knowledge for that. But if you ask the doctor question, doctor, tell me then when can we inform your parents? Do you know the knowledge of that? When your body is going to die, how your soul is going to quit from your body? After death, what you are going to do? If you ask the questions to doctor, what he says, what he will say? The doctor says only God knows. That's what he says. The doctor says only God knows, but he knows how the body functions. In another 48 hours, the person is going to be there. After that, he is going to die. He knows that, but he doesn't know after the death what's going to happen. That's the difference between that knowledge, the medical knowledge he gained in this material world. But we are going to see that, beyond that, after the death, how our soul is going to go and all those things. That's the knowledge we are going to see that. So in this verse, in this verse, Krishna says, the conditioned souls, when they come to this material world, in the material world, we were in spiritual world, but we came to this material world for, our own, false ego. We came to this material world. But in this material world, we take shelter of sense enjoyment. We all know that. What is the sense enjoyment? Sense enjoyment means what? We wanted to eat nice food. We want to hear the rap. That's for years we want to hear the rap music. And also we want to see movies, sense enjoyment. And what else? Eyes, nose, we want to, perfume. We want to have a real good perfume and other things. But when you ask anyone to sit and listen to the class, they can hear the songs, any Bollywood song, Hollywood songs, they can hear it for hours and hours. But they cannot sit and hear the, spiritual thing like this satsanga or anything. They cannot hear, more than 15 minutes because, they get bored. Because the reason is, we are, addicted to sense enjoyment. When we hear songs, our senses are, but, you need to transform that knowledge to this knowledge, spiritual knowledge. So when we come to this, we take that, when we came to this material world, we take that, sense of shelter of sense objects in this world. There are three things. One is because of material desire. That is what? Karma. Why we are taking the sense enjoyment? That's what we are going to see. One is because of karma. Karma means what? Material desire. Material desire means, all unwanted things. Anything non-spiritual is material desire. Anything non-spiritual, anything not about a God is material thing. So that is because that's called what? Karma, material desire. One is karma. The second one is influence of the material nature. Influence of material nature means what? We do certain activities. We do that mode of passion activities, mode of ignorance activities, mode of goodness activities. Mode of goodness activities are, hearing this Krishna Kada and other things. And all this is also bhakti. And also, mode of passion is, we wanted to, earn more and more. If you are, addicted to some action, if you want to, if you are wanted to drive car race or something, that is mode of passion. That's not, because whatever you want to do more and more, that's mode of passion. If you want to earn money more and more without doing any bhakti activities, then, that is called mode of passion. And mode of ignorance, lazy people, sleeping, all those activities comes under the mode of ignorance. Based on this, so due to the influence of mode of nature, and the third one is due to the karma. So karma is what? Based on the previous life, what we incurred. So there are three things in this material world. We took the shelter of sense enjoyment because of three things. One is based on karma, previous karma. Then the second one is based on the material desire, kama. Then the third one is based on the mode which we are acting. Maybe you can say association. The mode which we are acting means what? Association. If you want to go out with your friends to watch movies, that is mode of ignorance or mode of, those it comes under. But if you want to go with your friend to the temple and worship God, that is mode of goodness activities. So which association you are taking it? So there are three things. One is material desire, one is mode of material nature, second one, third one is, karma, based on the previous karma. So because, when we do that sense enjoyment, because we are thinking that, enjoying senses is the only enjoyment in this world. That's what we think, that going and watching movies and doing all those things, those are the enjoyment activities. Sitting and listening God consciousness. Do you really like it, this class? No, I would say, I don't like that. Because, you wanted to go and play outside. That's the enjoyment. You will get it. But when you sit and listen God messages, you may not like it. Because our senses are conditioned like that. Our senses are addicted to sense enjoyment. So, but the thing is, okay, my senses are addicted to sense center. What is wrong in it? Because I don't know there is a God message. When I come to the temple, the people are telling that. And since I don't know anything about God, what is wrong in me going and enjoying? Nothing wrong in it, isn't it? Because somebody has to tell you that, there is a God, worship and all those things. But the human body is, you will have a capability of knowing things. Only the human life can understand about God, not the animals. Can animals go and sit in the Bhagavad Gita class? No. Because animals are what? Innocent. There is a difference between innocence and ignorance. Innocence and ignorance. What is ignorance and what is innocence? One quick, small example. If buffalo is crossing the red signal, that is called innocence, because buffalo doesn't know the traffic rules. Police is not going to arrest buffalo for that. But if you cross the red signal, that is your ignorance, not innocence. Crossing the red signal is false. State law has that. But still you are doing it. That means what? That is ignorance, not innocence. Police will come and catch it. If you go and tell police that I don't know the rules, then what police will say? Then don't be on the road. So that's the difference between innocence and ignorance. So, but the human body we have the capability to know about God. After that also, if we are ignoring and going with the sense enjoyment, that means we are in the ignorance mode. So we should pray God. That's what it is. So we have the capability. We can know about God, but still we are ignoring it. So even if they have the capability to know all these things, because of the influence of desire, of lust in the heart, and facilitated by the previous karma, and influenced by the three modes of material nature, we start to enjoy in this world. Based on the previous karma, mode of nature, and everything, lust and everything, we start to enjoy in this world. So when we start to enjoy in this world, okay, sense enjoyment, what will happen? When we start to enjoy in this world, what will happen? Can we enjoy every time? Can we have happiness all the time? No, that's where the suffering comes. That's where the suffering comes. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 3.27 very clearly, Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasaka ahankara vimudatma kartam idi manyate. The translation of that verse goes like this. The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself the doer of activities that are in actuality carried out by the three modes of material nature. So whatever the action we do, we think that, we are the doer of that action. But we should understand that, Jagat, Jiva and Jagadis. Jiva is what? We are, spiritual souls. Human beings are Jivas. Jagat, who is Jagat? Jagat is this world, the material nature, this world. Jagat is what? Lord. So when you do any action, if you want to go from here to there, all these three things should help. Otherwise, you cannot do any activities. If Madhava, he is preparing for the exam, he well prepared. But on that particular day, Madhava got stomach upset. The rain is continuously pouring, he cannot go outside. So, that nature has to help us. Otherwise, we cannot go and write the exam. Of course, the Jiva, myself, I prepared very well, but I cannot go and write the exam. The God has to help you. The God is what? He is what? Paramatma, sitting inside your soul, has to sanction it. Go and write the exam well. So not only you preparing for the exam, the other only 33% in your hand. The other two is what? The Jagat has to help you. Material nature has to help you. And also what? Jagadis has to help you. Paramatma has to sanction that. Then only you can do that. In my childhood, I want to just tell this incident. When I was doing my 10th grade, at that time I was not in God consciousness. I was kind of, freak out guy. I really want, whatever that action I do, I am the doer. Nobody else is doing. So I am the enjoyer for that, my action. So in the 10th grade, I still remember that, I got a first prize in the Rotary Club Mathematics, district-wise. So in the school annual days, they said, we will give that, announce the prize with all the other events. So I did not sleep in the previous night because I was so happy that, I won this. I'm going to get the prize from district collector. So, I was so hyped. I did not sleep at all, but I did not pray God even for a single moment. So the next day came, I came on the stage. And those days, you have that, the photo, they have that, the role, negative role. Negative role is there. The person who was taking the photo, he was standing, next to the stage. He stopped me. Don't go. And he said to the next person, the organizer, the photo roll is over now. Only 36 photos you can take it. After that, you have to replace the photo roll. So he stopped me. The photo roll is over. I have to, change that new roll. I have to put a new roll and take it. Then I was staying there. The collector was standing there. Come. And he said, wait, because don't go. Otherwise, I could not take the photo. Then the collector was saying, then my principal said, my headmaster, came, what happened? That the guy said, the photo roll, I'm changing the photo roll. Okay, Kannan, you stay there, we will call you later. Then the guy, immediately he replaced the photo roll and other people, came and, they took the award and everything. I was still standing. And I went and asked the other teacher, sir, I did not get a call for this award ceremony or anything. Oh, okay, because collector is in a hurry. Don't worry, we will do it later. This is exactly what I got. I put my effort and I got the first place, but still I could not enjoy. The reason is I was thinking that, I am the doer, no one else. Then I realized that not only me, all the other things to help. Otherwise, how can, particularly for me, that photo roll went out. So that's what, whatever the action you do, you are not the doer. You always think that Krishna is behind you and he is pushing you to do that. And material nature is also helping you to do that. Without giving any rain or sign or anything, he is making you to do the activity. So always think that, Krishna is behind you. He is the one making you to do it. Because of the influence of Prakriti, due to the false ego, living entity thinks that, I am the doer. That's what I'm saying. I am the enjoyer. So they try to do all the activities. When they do these activities, they try to look for happiness. But at the end, they will end up in suffering only like me. I was trying to look for happiness, the moment, happy moment. But because I was thinking that I am the doer, but I end up in sadness only. Exactly like that. So Jiva enjoys in this material world, but Jiva understands through experience in this world that everything is temporary and eventually is going to go away. So we think that, we enjoy permanently when we involve in any material things. We enjoy, for example. But what is the ultimate thing? It is all temporary and eventually everything will go away from us. For example, you are buying a new car. How many days that new car will you give you the happiness? Maybe 1 or 2 years. After that, you'll get bored by that car. You will look for another new car. So this happiness is what? Temporary. But you think that, it will give permanent happiness. And also, when we are young, we think that, in front of the mirror, all the time we stand in front of the mirror and we comb like this, that. Once we see, little white hair, what happens? Oh my God, I am getting old. Then I am going to die soon. That fear comes. That fear comes. Oh my God. That's it. All along the days I was enjoying. Suddenly after seeing the white hair, I don't want to see the mirror at all. Because, I'm going to, okay, something's happening. I am getting aged. I am going to go from this world. So what happened to my Lamborghini car? What happened? Everything. Even Madhava, they put you in the new store. So they might have bought you that, new backpack. So you will put all the things in regular order because the bag is very new. You will. But after 2 weeks, what? You will pick the same bag. Because that's temporary. The enjoyment is gone. So we think that, this enjoyment, material world is giving us happiness permanently. We are thinking that, but no, it is temporary. And everything is going to go away. So whoever enjoys the jivas, so when you think that the moment when you think that it is going to go away, what will happen? When you think that, okay, I am getting gray hair, I'm going to die. What will happen? What feeling you will have? You will get the fear. Oh my God, I'm going to lose my life. So you will get the fear. So because, after that, so I am realizing that the death is going to come to me. So after the death, I don't know where we are going, all those things. So it creates so much anxiety. It creates fear for us. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 10, Krishna says, Vita raga bayakroda manmaya mam upachritaka bhagavo jnana tapasa hudamat bhavam agataka. That means Vita raga bayakroda. That means, the translation of that verse is being freed from attachment, fear, and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me. Many persons in the past become purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attained a transcendental love for me. So if you take the very first line, Vita raga bayakroda, Vita means freed from. When a person is freed from fear, anger, and the attachment. Raga means attachment. Vita raga bayakroda, baya means fear. Krodha means anger. When you are free from these three things, if you are free from these three things, I'm guaranteed, you are self-realized person, kind of. But we cannot. At the end of the class, we will know, we will blank to the first three lines only. We'll see. So, Vita raga bayat krodha. If you are free from these three things, then you will, being fully absorbed in Krishna's knowledge. That's what the other lines. So, we will see what it is there. If you have a raga, if you have an attachment, why we have a fear? We have a fear because of the overly attachment only. Anything. You have your own son and daughter. You have so much attachment to them. Krishna doesn't say that you don't have that. You will have a over attachment. Krishna talking about over attachment. You will have a, attachment to that, overly attached. So when your son or daughter goes away from you, what do you think? Oh my God, my son is there, what he is doing. Always you are thinking about him. That's nothing wrong. But you are overly attached. Because of that, what? You are missing to do your own activities. You need to do your activities. So, Vita raga bhaya krodha. So, when you have so much attachment, the fear automatically comes. I will tell you another story. It's also happened in my life, the true story. A neighborhood person. He said that, when I was doing my college at that time, he was working and he said, the buses are so crowded and I cannot go inside the bus. And also it is getting so late, so much of traffic. So I'm going to buy a new bike for myself to go to the office. And, he bought a new bike. The bike is, you all might be knowing that Yamaha RX 100. That time it was so popular. He paid huge price for that. And he bought a new bike. And he was thinking that, I can go freely without any traffic or anything. So I need not to put myself in trouble. So I can reach my office and come back very easily. That's the motive. He bought a bike. But what happened? He bought a bike. And the next day, after buying the bike, he parked his vehicle in front of his house. So small kids like Madhava and small kids, they always go and, jump on the bike and sit on the bike. And he will come out and yell at them. No, I put huge price for this bike. Don't do this, all these things. He always, removing them from the bike. Every 10 minutes, he'll come out from the house and see whether the bike is there or not. He does that. Then, okay, that is not okay. Then I was watching him, and then after a month, he was traveling by bus only because I was traveling to somewhere else, and I saw him, he was traveling in the bus. And I asked him, I thought you bought a bike to go to the office and you are still traveling. No, Kannan, what happened, in my office, if I park my vehicle, everyone is, breaking my side mirror and, tearing the seat. That place is not at all good. The purpose is not solved at all. He bought a bike for 50,000 rupees and he parked his vehicle at home. The real purpose is what? He wants to go to the office by bike, but still he is going in the same crowd, same traffic and everything because he has a fear in his, he has so much attachment to that bike and he thinks that, somebody will loot his bike. So he is still suffering. We are also like that one. We are not better than him. We think that, we came to this material world, we will go in a better place. We are thinking every day like that. But what? We end up in the same level or, go below. We suffer only. We will never come up. Only when you do spiritual practice, you will come up in your life. How you can come up in your life? Only when you do spiritual practice, you will get freed from the attachment. If you are freed from the attachment, you will not have fear at all. If you are not having fear, you will not have anger at all. What is the relationship between the fear and the anger? This same guy, take that same guy. He bought a bike and he was so attached to it, then he is having a fear. Somebody will take it. If somebody puts his hands on his bike, he will come and yell at him. No, don't do that. It's getting spoiled. So those kind of, emotions come automatically. It is attached one with another. Fear and the anger goes together. So that's what the Krishna says, if you are in the 3.27, in the 4.10, Krishna clearly says, Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha, you just free from these three things. Then you being fully absorbed in me, taking refuge in me, many persons in the past become purified of knowledge of me, and thus they all attain transcendental love to me. So when you want to have a transcendental love means what? Beyond three modes of material nature. You have to take refuge in Krishna. That's what Krishna says. If you want to free from fear, krodha and other things, you take shelter to Krishna. You will automatically purify it. Then, but the person with the spiritual knowledge who can understand how to conduct life in this world. In 3.9, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yagnata karmano antrayo logayam karma bantanaga. What is the meaning of that? Karma bantanaga. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material life. If you are not doing any activity for Krishna or Vishnu as a sacrifice, then you will incur karma because of that action. Either good karma or bad karma. Even you are doing all are doing charity. Charity is a good activity. But when you do charity, you will incur good karma. If you incur good karma, you have to take birth again as a human life or any other life to burn the good karma. No, I don't want to take a birth again at all. I want to liberate from this material world. What you need to do? Then you need to do the bhakti. Do the charity, but do it with the bhakti. If you do it with bhakti, then you will not incur any karma at all. If you don't incur any karma, good karma or bad karma, then you will go back to Godhead. So, work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu. You have to do your work for sacrifice for Vishnu. Otherwise, that work will bring bondage. That bondage means what? Karma back. So, the person with knowledge understand what is this world, how to live in this world, also understand that what will happen in next life. So when you have true knowledge, you will know what is going to happen for you in the next life. If you take complete Krishna, shelter of Krishna, you will not have any birth at all. You will know that. And also you will understand what is, how to live in this world, not only materially, not only spiritually, also materially. So all these things. They also understand the value of human life. This human life is for what? Human life is to go back to Godhead. Human life is to serve, love and serve God. If you want to do, mating, dating, or, otherwise, you will take that animal life itself. If you are getting the human life, by using this human life, you have to go back to Godhead. You need to serve God and, get out of this material entanglement. Taking repeated birth again. Otherwise, no need for this human life. Satyasara Prabhu always says this example. If I want to go to gas station, what shall I do? Should I take the jumbo jet? If I want to go to the across the street, the gas station, should I take jumbo jet or should I take bicycle? Bicycle. So in order to go to gas station, I should take bicycle and go. I don't need jumbo jet. What? So the jumbo jet is for what? Jumbo jet is for going to the intercontinental or space also. So the jumbo jet is used for that particular higher purpose, not just for, going to the gas station. Likewise, our human body is also like a jumbo jet. We need to use this body to go back to the Godhead, spiritual world. No, I will use this body for, just for sense enjoyment, listening the Hollywood songs, Bollywood songs, and also, eating all the unwanted foods and all those things. Then you don't need this body. Be in animal body. What animal is doing? Eating, sleeping, mating, defending, all these 4 things. So you also do that, all these 4 things. You don't need this better human body. Human body is like a jumbo jet. If you get the human body, do it for that purpose. Pray Krishna and go back to Godhead. Why you want to be here in, suffer in this material world? You think that, all the enjoyment will give permanent happiness, but you will end up in suffering only, because we know that, this is Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. This material world is temporary and also suffering place only. You will never get permanent happiness. So that's what, in the Bhagavad Gita, in this same verse, 15.10, today's verse, there is an important word, Jnana Saksusaka, the 4th line. I talked about you. First 3 line was talking about, people like us only. Foolish people, sorry to say that, people like me only. Foolish people always going with the material enjoyment. They think that, they don't know how this body is, going to, at the time of putting the body death, what is going to happen for me. And also that I don't know why I got this body and, 3 modes of material nature and other. So in the last line, the 2 lines of this, Vimuda Nanu Pashyanti, Pashyanti Jnana Saksusaga. Jnana Saksusaga means, the one who has a real knowledge. What is the real knowledge? One who has a real knowledge. What is the real knowledge? We are talking about all the time, the foolish person don't have a knowledge. But the wise people have a knowledge. What that knowledge is? That knowledge is, one is, they can clearly understand Atma, difference between the Atma and the body, soul and the body. If they have a true knowledge, they can understand the soul, Atma and the body. They comprehend, they can come to the conclusion about Atma. So we are Atma, we are super soul, not the body. They will come to the conclusion if they have a real knowledge. And then the second one, they will come to the conclusion. They comprehend who is the Supreme Lord. Krishna is the Supreme Lord. That also they will come to the conclusion. So that's the meaning. That's the knowledge you should have. When you have the real knowledge, you can clearly differentiate 2 things. One is, you will always know that, you are not the body, you are the spirit soul. Second one is, you always say that, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, you will always, bewildered. So the difference between the body and the Atma and also the Supreme Lord. Okay, I want to know, if I say one word, you need to know that, body and Atma, you have to have a knowledge. All the time I'm saying, you have to have the knowledge, between the body and, but I'm not giving any actual knowledge. I am saying that if you have the knowledge, how do I have the knowledge? Exactly, Mataji. So you should associate with like-minded people. If you are associating with the people, those who are going to the bar, you will get that knowledge only. You'll go to the 6th street and enjoy. If you associate with the people really want to go back to Godhead, you will come to 103 Adventure Lane. That's the reason we have the street name also, Adventure. You come here, adventures happen. So that's what it is. Okay. What happens if you don't have this knowledge? What happens if I don't have this knowledge? I cannot distinguish between body and soul, and I don't have who is Supreme Lord also. I don't have this knowledge. What happens? If you don't have this knowledge, you will think that everyone is Supreme Lord. Yeah, very true. Everyone is Supreme Lord. Even take myself as an example. Before coming to Krishna consciousness, I thought Goddess Lakshmi is, Supreme Person because he has all the wealth. Of course, he is also, but, and then after sometimes I heard that, Kubera has lot of wealth. So I thought that, Kubera is also, Supreme Person, according to me, because I don't have a right knowledge. So whoever I see, I thought that, everyone is Supreme Lord. This is what one category people. Second category people, they don't believe anybody in Supreme Lord, including Krishna. If you go and atheist people, if you go and tell anyone, no, I don't believe in these gods and other things. You can believe these people also. You can believe people, you can associate with people, those who are saying everyone is Supreme Lord. And also you can associate people with who are saying that, I cannot believe, no one is Supreme Lord. I don't want to believe anyone that, he is Supreme Lord. You can associate these two people very well. I would say, no problem at all associating with these two type of people. But there is a dangerous people, third category people. They say that I am the Supreme Lord. They say that I am the Supreme. We have to be very careful with them. And also the another thing. So, another category people, the people, somebody will say that, if you, that's why Srila Prabhupada says, you have to take the knowledge from the bona fide parampara, real guru. Otherwise, you believe everyone as a guru. Whatever he is saying, tomorrow you go to next street and they say, Supreme Lord is this, that, and I'll give you moksha in 45 days. Then you will go there too. So, because why we are thinking that, the knowledge is, knowledge, you should hear it from the actual bona fide master. Otherwise, you believe everything. Why we believe everything? Why we are believing everything? Because we have 4 kinds of defects. Making mistakes, chanting, cheating propensity, illusion, senses are imperfect. With this, all 4 these things, we end up with all wrong association. In order to have a right association, you need to surrender to Guru and take the knowledge from him. Say, for example, everybody can, for example, if a CT scan is there, we all can have different perceptions about things in this world. But the perception should be based on the spiritual knowledge. Then it is good. For example, I said, CT scan. So the layman also looking at, I can also look at the CT scan. I know just, it looks like a jangri kind of thing. So I can say that, something is there. But at the same time, the real cardiologist, the radiologist person is looking at the CT scan. He knows better than me. His perception is different by looking at the CT scan. Mine is different. How? He has a knowledge. He has an education. He has the education in the right field. Likewise, so we also, when you say perception, you are using your experience of the thing. But the comprehension is based, comprehension and perception is 2 different things. Comprehension is conclusion, affirmatively saying that. But the perception is, this is what I think. I'm sorry to say that, most of the Asians use this term. They always use that, think word. But I use this think word. Even if I know that the answer is perfectly correct, I always use think. But one time, my project manager corrected me. Why you are saying always think? I think this is right answer. Whenever I say, Yeah, that code is working. I think so. That means, I'm not familiar saying that, if something goes wrong, then I can say that, that's why I said, I think so. No, I'm not saying that that is the right code. I won't say that, because, I don't have a confidence. So, but you have to have a confidence. How do you get the confidence? When you have a right knowledge. When you gain the right knowledge, you will have the comprehension things, you have a affirmative things. So similarly, spiritual knowledge we get from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, or other Vedic scripture help us to understand ourselves. Also, it helps us to have a deeper understanding of the Supreme Lord. So we can do the action according to our understanding. So, that's why the knowledge, where the knowledge is coming from the Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. You have to have that. You need to read and you need to hear the knowledge from bona fide spiritual master, Guru Parambara. That's the reason this knowledge is, Rajaguhyam. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam. Rajavidya, king of knowledge. Knowing about God is not an easy thing. It is king of knowledge. And also it is secret of all secrets. So that's the reason, that Bhagavad Gita 9.2, it says, Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Bhavitram Idam Uttamam Pratyaksha Avagavam Dharmayam Susugam Khatum Avyayam. So, this kind of knowledge, knowing about Krishna, you need to get the real knowledge. So you can say Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, you can say everyone has a Supreme Lord. Or you will say, no one is Supreme Lord because you don't have the right knowledge. But this knowledge is, king of knowledge, and it is so secret because Krishna did not directly convey this to all the people. So it needs to some spiritual intelligence needs to understand these things. You have to have a faith to understand Krishna is the Supreme Lord. All those things. Due to time, once upon a time, what happened? What is the time now? 12:44. Once upon a time, nothing happened. We will move on to that. So we understand the real meaning of teachings of Krishna through the bona fide spiritual master. Otherwise, for example, if you read Upanishad on your own, you think that, Upanishads are teaching about the impersonation. But if you read Upanishads through bona fide spiritual master, Vaishnava Acharyas, you will clearly understand it is talking about the personal feature. It says, Aham Brahmasmi. Everything is Brahman. What does that mean? They are referring to the Supreme Brahman. Arjuna clearly says, Supreme Brahman. Who is Supreme Brahman? Supreme Brahman is what? Krishna only. Arjuna clearly says, Param Brahma, Parandama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhava. So Param Brahma, who is Param Brahma? Krishna is the Param Brahma. If you are not having this knowledge through proper system, through, Siksha Guru, Diksha Guru, one who came from the bona fide Guru Parambara, you will get a misunderstanding only. You will think that, it is talking about impersonation. In order to have the proper knowledge, you need to attend the proper school. Otherwise, you cannot go to the, Chinese school and learning the Spanish thing. You cannot. You have to go to the right school for that. So I have a lot of things to cover, but it's 12:45. Okay. I don't want to bore you also. If you have any questions, please ask me. Otherwise, we will cover this, in a later class. One more chance if I get, I will cover that. But, really half of them are there. If any questions, sorry, I stopped here abruptly. 12:45. If anyone has any questions, you can ask.
Or any questions online? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, you talked about that in order to get success, three things that has to come together: Jagat, Jagdish, and our effort. So you said 33% is our effort.
Yes.
So that's 66% is Jagat and Jagdish. So if some person he says that
66% is not depending on me. So if I don't do anything, still there's chance of me getting the success. So what do you have to say to that person?
Right, Mataji, your understanding is correct. Only 33%. Why do I need to do that 33% also?
Yeah.
66% is majority is with the Jagat and Jagatis. They themselves do it and give it to me all I want.
Yes.
That's what
Yeah.
some people may think
Yeah.
that. But you need to do the initial activities. Based, your desire has to be there. If you want to do any action, it is not Paramatma's desire. It is not Jagat desire. If you want to go to India, it is your desire, Jiva's desire, or Paramatma and Jagat desire, or Jagadish desire.
My desire.
Your desire. So you are the one starting it. You have the desire. And Paramatma is guiding you. Okay, Shilpi Mataji,
Yes.
you can go to India now. He is giving you the sanction only. Okay, you can go. But sometimes, he may give you the indication that, this is not the right time to go. Your free will, you can act on your own free will. No, even, the flood is coming, everything, I want to go. Jagat is also not cooperating. Jagat also not cooperating. Inside, Paramatma is saying that, don't go. And all the indications are there, but still, you are acting your own free will. The desire also comes initially from you, and the decision also comes initially by you only. But they are helping us to do that activity. In the 247, I think, Karmendriyani Adhigaraste, that means, even though that verse, beautiful verse, you need to do your duty. But don't think that, you don't expect any fruitive results from the duty. And don't think that you are the doer of the duty. Third point. Fourth point, Krishna says, since these two things, don't ever think of not doing your duty. Fourth line clearly says. So, you have to do your duty. Doing the duty is not a choice. It is a must. You need to to perform your duty. Like Arjuna. Arjuna said, my relatives are there. How can I go for the war? But Krishna said, no, you are a Satriya. You born for fighting. You need to do your active duty. But don't think that you are killing them. I already killed them. You are just an instrument. So you initiate the things. You cannot say that, I just do only 30. That 33% is the important thing. You are the one initiating. The desire comes from you only. How does it comes from you? Based on the previous karma or the association yuga. That's what we saw, three things. Association yuga, modes of material nature, or previous karma, or lust karma. So based on these things, you are initiating that thing. Then Prabhuji.
As Prabhu said, just piling on to what Prabhu said, the desire maybe you have now today, or it may be from the previous life. You don't even know. You have a deeply rooted desire in your heart. It's not manifested in this life yet. But you have done a karma to fulfill that desire. So it may just Jagdish or Jagat may manifest that. Makes sense to you? So Jiva's role is always there. That's why we are in this material world, where we want to enjoy. No? Desire from the previous life. It's not fully manifested.
Any other question, devotees?
Okay, thank you, everyone. So I haven't disclosed which line we belongs to, either the first three lines or the last line. When I get up, because I want to give all the things, then I finally conclude that which line we belongs to. Still that, you assume that, you belongs to fourth line and happily do the spiritual service. Thank you. Hare Krishna. If I hurt any of your feelings, I'm really sorry.
Let's give a big round of applause to Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhu. That was a fantastic class. Very, very inspiring. I'm sure everyone echoes the same feelings. Wonderful. Let's move to the next part of the program, which is Sunday Feast Arati. Today, Sarveshwari Mataji will do the Arati and Sevya will do the Kirtan. Request everyone to please rise up. You can come forward. Please come forward. The kids can come in the first row.
Piano. Come
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णापृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिने नामिने
विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिनेति नामिने
नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंद
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंद
Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare Hare Jai Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Jai Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Jai Radha Kunj Bihari Radhe Jai Radha Kunj Bihari Radhe Jai Radha Sham Sundar Radhe Jai Radha Sham Sundar Radhe Jai Radha Giridhari Radhe Giridhari Radhe Jai Radha Krishna Jai Radha Krishna Jai Radha Krishna Jai Radhe Jai Radha Krishna Jai Radha Krishna Jai Radha Krishna Jai Radhe Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitya Gaura Hari Bol Nitya Gaura Hari Bol Nitya Gaura Hari Bol Nitya Gaura Hari Bol
Everybody please bow down to the deities. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज का आचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमती सी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज का आचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमती भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। रामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्यामकुंड राधाकुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। श्री मायापुर धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगामयी यमुनामयी की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। बृहद मृदंगा की जय। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. हिरण्यकाशी पूर्वक्षः हिरण्यकाशी पूर्वक्षः हिरण्यकाशी पूर्वक्षः शीलटङ्कानकालये शीलटङ्कानकालये इतो नरसिंहो परतो नरसिंहो इतो नरसिंहो परतो नरसिंहो इतो नरसिंहो परतो नरसिंहो यतो यतो यामि ततो 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 नरसिंहो बाहे नरसिंहो हृदये नरसिंहो बाहे नरसिंहो हृदये नरसिंहो नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये तव करकमलवरेणाकाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गां दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव करकमलवरेणाकाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गां दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तानुभृङ्गा केशवधृता जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव कर कमल वरे नाका अद्भुत सिंगार ललिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवकृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव कर कमल वरे नाखा अद्भुत श्रृंगार ललिता हिरण्यकशिपु तानुभृङ्गा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव 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 जय प्रह्लाद महाराज 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 नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल
Thank you, Savior, for that ecstatic Kirtan. Can you come this side a little bit? Thank you, Jishnu, for the Mridangam, Madhava, Srivatsa, Shruti for the Kartal. Thank you, Vandya, for following singing. And thank you, Sarveshwari Mataji, for the Arati. So now let's go to the next part of the Sunday Feast program, which is the announcement.